How much beauty do you experience in life? Like, what I believe is that beauty is an aspect of God, and that there's a continuum from that is an infinite wide possibility. And that in this continuum, each one of us has our own experience of beauty. Like some of us, that the continuum is like if ugliness is way down there and absolute beauty is way down there, where do you see that you live on this continuum of beauty? When you look at your life, do you see your life as beautiful? When you look at yourself, do you see yourself as beautiful? Because I truly believe that one of the most important aspects of God is that God is beauty. Aristotle said that beauty is a gift of God. Joseph Addison said there's nothing that makes its way more directly into our soul than beauty. And what I believe is that for each and every one of us, that beauty is a healing aspect of our life, healing aspect of our soul. Confucius said everything is beautiful, but not everyone sees it. So today, I'm going to invite you to open your soul to a greater experience of the beauty that is within you and all around you, because I believe that your soul needs it. The human, D.H. Lawrence said, the human soul needs actual beauty more than it needs bread or even pizza, right? And for me, as a child, when I came into this world, I did not understand ugliness. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense to me why people would live in ugliness, why some people acted in ugly ways or speak in ugly words. It just absolutely did not make sense to me because my soul knew that God was beauty. And when I saw beauty, when I experienced beauty, I felt incredibly close to God. Some of us, when we go into nature and we hike in nature, we experience the beauty. We have such an uplifted spirit that we just feel that connection, that profound being surrounded in the presence of God. Anne Frank, the German-born Jewish girl, the diarist, she said this: think of all the beauty that is still left around you and be happy. Now, here's somebody who is experiencing some of the most ugliness that the world has ever seen. And here's her statement: think of all the beauty that's still left around you and be happy. That as a human being, we have the ability to focus our life on what we choose to focus on. That we can focus on the ugliness in life. We can focus on what's wrong and what's bad and what's ugly. Or we can focus on what's lovely and beautiful and fabulous. And that our soul is nurtured by one and starves with the other. And sometimes we get so complacent that we're not really searching for the beauty in ourselves and in our life. But we need that. I began to do a series of talks a couple of weeks ago. And the series of talks is based on finding. And the first one I did was finding your inner power. And last week I did finding peace. And today I want to do a talk on finding beauty. Because I absolutely believe that as you find, as you call forth, as you search for the beauty that's in your life, your soul is uplifted. And when we don't look for beauty, when we tend to focus on what's wrong or what's broken or what's bad or what's ugly, our soul feels deprived. Our soul feels needy. That we need beauty to thrive. We need it as individuals. We need it in our families. We need it as a culture. We need beauty. One of the most profound Navajo blessings is called the Blessing Way. It's the closing prayer of the ceremony, and the ceremony is about creating natural order back into, and it's about choosing constructive, life-affirming choices, healing intentions, and releasing old destructive decisions. And the Blessing Way, it honors the divine feminine that as a nurturer. And so on this Mother's Day, I want to read a portion of the ceremony and invite you to open your mind, your heart, your soul to a greater level of beauty and to allow it to heal us, to allow us to nurture us. Because sometimes in life, we need beauty. We absolutely need beauty. So let me read a portion of this ceremony. In beauty I walk. With beauty before me I walk. With beauty behind me I walk. With beauty above me I walk. With beauty around me I walk. It has become beauty again. Today I will walk out. Today everything negative will leave me. I will be as I was before. I will have a cool breeze over my body. I will have a light body. I will be happy forever. Nothing will hinder me. I walk with beauty before me. I walk with beauty behind me. I walk with beauty below me. I walk with beauty above me. I walk with beauty around me. My words will be beautiful. In beauty all day long may I walk. Through the return of the seasons may I walk. On trails marked with pollen may I walk. With dew upon my feet may I walk. With beauty before me may I walk. With beauty behind me may I walk. With beauty around me may I walk. With beauty above me may I walk. With beauty below me may I walk. In old age, wandering on the trail of beauty, lively may I walk. In old age, wandering on the trail of beauty, living again may I walk. May all my words be beautiful. I just think that there's such an important opportunity for us to see and experience the healing aspect of beauty. That all too often beauty is delegated to areas or aspects of our life, when I believe that beauty should be called into every moment, into every experience, that our soul thrives when we focus on beauty. And we wither, we get depressed, we get sad when we are not surrounded in beauty, that our soul needs it. And as our culture, we need to find and to celebrate all that is beautiful within ourselves and within life. So here are some ways to access beauty in your life. The first one is stop. As spiritual beings, our life gets better when we learn to stop in the moment and experience the beauty that is all around us. That it's only when we stop that we get to experience and really take in all the beauty that's around us in the flowers, in the trees, in nature. You know, we celebrated my youngest grandson's second birthday yesterday. And this kid is just gorgeous. Now, like I've seen other kids, right? This kid is gorgeous, right? And when he crawls up onto my lap, there is literally nothing better in the whole wide world than him in my lap, and he and I are laughing together, or me feeding him a cupcake and I got most of it in his mouth. I mean, there's literally nothing better, right? But we have to stop for those moments. We have to stop and experience the beauty that is all around us, too. The other thing I think we can do is set an intention every day to be touched by beauty. That when we get up in the morning and we set an intention that I want to have an experience of beauty today, we are increase the probability that beauty will find us and that we will find beauty, that we will look for it, that it will soothe our soul, that it will feed us in a deep, wonderful way. And 3, beauty heals us. When we're out of sorts, when we're upset, when we're feeling negative or distraught, when we surround ourselves in beauty, beauty heals us. 4, give thanks for beauty. The more we appreciate it, the more we give thanks for it, the more we acknowledge it, the more it fills us and we see it all around us. And 5, fill your life with that which you find beautiful. Flowers, artwork, music. It will inspire you, it will lift your mood, and it satisfies your soul. And seek out new experiences, new things that will broaden your perspective that you can find beautiful. Travel to new places, new foods, explore, and allow the beauty that's within you to shine forth all around you. Selma Hayek said it this way: people often say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I say the most liberating thing about beauty is realizing that you are the beholder. This empowers us to find beauty in places where others have dared to look, including ourselves. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross said it this way: people are like stained glass windows. They sparkle and shine when the sun is out, but there is a darkness that is deeper and greater. There's a beauty that is deeper and greater than the darkness that is within us. So as we reveal the light, we experience our own beauty. Genesis 1:27. So God created humankind in his image and in his likeness. He created them both male and female. So if we are created in the image and likeness of God, every time we look in the mirror, we are called to see God. The Apostle Paul said, now I look in a mirror dimly, but one day I will see face to face. And I love this quote, right? Because the idea is that the Apostle Paul is saying, now I look in the mirror and I don't really see God. I see it dimly. I see that little spark dimly of who I am. But one day I will look in the mirror and I will see the face of God looking back at me. And it is that moment of awakening, it's that moment of enlightenment when you see yourself from the highest point of view, when you see yourself from God's point of view. I am beautiful. Will you say that with me? I am beautiful. Now, let's say it like we actually mean it. I am beautiful. One more time. Let's make it fun. I am beautiful. I'm going to share a quote. And this has now become one of my favorite quotes. It's Margaret Cho. She's an actress, a comedian, and she said this: I am so beautiful. Sometimes people weep when they see me. Wait, I want you to hear this. I am so beautiful. Sometimes people weep when they see me. And it has nothing to do with the way I look, really. It is just that I gave myself the power to say that I am beautiful. And if I could do that, maybe there's hope for them too. That the great divide between beauty and ugliness will cease to be because we all have the power to choose. I want you to hear this quote because I think this quote is an enlightened statement. What she's saying is, I claim myself to be beautiful. And because I claim myself to be beautiful, people experience me as beautiful. And then she ends it with this idea that because we all have the right to choose. As a spiritual being, you have the right to choose how you show up. You have a right to choose the world that you live in. We all have the right to choose. And she had the audacity to claim herself as beautiful, and that as she did so, people began to experience her that way. Will you say it with me? I am beautiful. One more time. I am beautiful. How many of you get up every morning and say that about yourself? Right? How many times do we look in the mirror and go, oh, I'm so-so? You know, not as bad as I was or could be, you know. I'm so-so. Right? And what I want you to see is that when you take a stand to be the best version of you, it actually frees people around you to be more of who they are. And I want you to see today that when you claim yourself as beautiful, that is not a statement of ego. Right? It's actually a statement of your willingness to participate with the divine. Like, have you ever seen like somebody who's truly spiritual? We all have. And there's something so profoundly beautiful about them. You know, I've had the opportunity several times in my life to have a close connection with the Dalai Lama, to be in his presence, to sit next to him. That man would probably not win any beauty contest, right? But in his presence, you feel a profound beauty because he has overcome so many things, and he stands as a light for the world. There's another Elizabeth Kubler-Ross quote. The most beautiful people I have known are those who have known defeat, known suffering, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. Today, I want you to find your own inner beauty. Not to be bashful. It's not arrogant. It's not rude. That if God is within you, then I believe that we are required to claim our inner beauty. That we are required to let our light shine. And if the light of God isn't beautiful, I don't know what beauty would be then. That each and every one of us has turned our light down, has turned ourself down, because we were afraid that we weren't quite enough, that there were people that were more or better or different. But I believe that part of our spiritual journey, and maybe the most important part of our spiritual journey, is when we claim ourselves again as beautiful. Because there is a step in our own journey where we have to decide, are we good? Are we beautiful? Are we enough? And we can say no. We can claim ourselves as inadequate or broken or less than, but it's spiritually just not true. And when we are willing to stand and claim ourselves beautiful, to allow the light of God, the beauty of God, the presence of God to shine forth, everything in our life changes. I am beautiful. Will you say that with me? I am beautiful. One more time. I am beautiful. Sophia Loren said this: beauty is beauty is how we feel inside, and it reflects in your eyes. It has nothing to do with your physicality. See, I truly believe that part of our spiritual journey, part of our spiritual progress, is when we no longer are afraid of our own sense of beauty. When we allow the beauty of who we are, the beauty of God in us, to shine forth, no matter what our age, no matter what we think about our thighs or our nose or our wrinkles, there's a moment where we just have to decide, I am beautiful. Because if you can't claim you're beautiful, do you really believe that you're created in the image and likeness of God? That for me, those have to be joined together. If you truly believe that you're created in the image and likeness of God, there's a moment where you have to decide that I guess I was born to be beautiful. I am beautiful. One more time. I am beautiful. Now let's get excited about it. Maybe just a little bit, right? Just turn it up just a little, right? I am beautiful. All right? I'm beautiful. And it's like, well, Richard, I can't say that out loud. Like somebody will have an attitude about that. Right? I want you to see that part of what I believe your spiritual journey is to be able to see yourself the way God sees you. To see yourself from the highest point of view. At some point in your life, I believe that there is a moment where we have to decide, are we truly going to own all of our godness? And if we're going to own all of our godness, there's a moment where we have to decide, I am beautiful. Together, I am beautiful. Will you pray with me? I invite you to open your mind, your heart, your soul to the beauty that is within you. And that beauty is pure God. It is pure good. It is purely divine. It is not about your ego or your personality. It is the essence of God in you. I am beautiful. I am. I am beautiful. I am beautiful inside and out. I am beautiful with the words I speak. I am beautiful with the acts that I make. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. In the name and through the power of the living Christ, we give thanks. And so it is. Amen. God bless you all. Have a great week. Why don't you take a deep breath? And today we celebrate the beauty of God. That one of the most profound aspects of God is God is beauty. And that beauty is within us and all around us. And today we open our eyes and our hearts to experience all the beauty that God is. That God is gorgeous, beautiful. And that which God creates is absolutely beautiful. So today we celebrate the beauty that is all around us. The beauty that God is. And the beauty that we were created to express. We were called to bring the beauty of God into form. That each one of us is a beautiful expression of the divine. And we claim that. We call it forth. And I want you to silently say with me, I am beautiful. I'm beautiful because God is within me. And God is all around me. And today we claim that beauty. We look for it in ourselves. We look for it in others. We look for it in every moment. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. Because I was created in the image and likeness of God. I am the image and likeness of God. I am beautiful. So as we move into this time of silence, I invite you to own the beauty that is within you, to claim that spirit, that light, that love, that presence that is absolutely beautiful. That God in you is perfection and beauty. So we claim that now. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. For I am created in the image and in the likeness of God. And the beauty that is within us and all around us, we call it forth. We celebrate it. We give thanks for it. And we know that as we become more and more aware of the beauty that is within us and all around us, we notice it even more. Today we give thanks for the spiritual power of beauty, for the holy presence that shows up in beautiful ways in our life. Thank you, God, for the power of beauty. And so it is. Amen.